All right, guys, now from soul food to a story that's full of heart. Connie recently caught up with an Andover native, Michael Chiklis.
Yeah, he was here to talk about his new film, The Senior, and what the project means to him personally.
Football, the greatest game in the history of mankind. It's more than that. It's a shot.
Hello?
At immortality.
Oof, chills. Our next guest is Andover's own Emmy winner, Michael Chiklis, from The Shield to Fantastic Four. He's really done it all, and now he's starring actually in The Senior. It's a true story of a man who suits up for college football at, get this, the age of 59, proving that it's never too late to chase your dreams. So here he is today to bring that story to life, to talk to me about it. It's going to hit theaters September 19th, but we're just talking off air about you being in this film. What inspired you after reading that script to play the role?
So much about it. Well, you know, I love sports films, but this is more than just a football movie. You know, it's a redemption tale. And what Mike did was extraordinary, really. For him, you know, he messed up when he was a kid. And we all have made mistakes when we're young, and we make poor choices. And, you know, we often face palm and go like, oh, I wish I had to take two on that, you know. And he was able to do that. He was able to go back to his old alma mater and try out for the football team and make it. So with the intention, he didn't, that's the crazy thing. He didn't intend for this to happen.
Exactly.
He went down there to apologize to his old team.
And resolve something that he thought it was weighing on him.
It was eating him up. Exactly. And he was like, you know, 35, 40 years later, he went down to say, I'm sorry what I did. And then he found out he was eligible. And he goes like, oh, maybe I can be a mentor to the kids on this team that he didn't even know. And that's what he did. And, you know, we live in a time right now where we could use really positive, good stories that, you know, and I know it's a trope. I know it's a cliche, but you'll laugh, you'll cry, and you'll leave the theater feeling good about life, you know, that there's good people in this world, you know, and I loved that about the movie, and I loved working with these kids, you know, and with Mary Stuart Masterson, and it's just a wonderful cast. It doesn't look, I mean, it looks like a $50 million movie, but it's a little independent. And the reason I want to get the word out to all of y'all, because, you know, we don't have the big budget for the billboards and everything. So I need to get the word out, because this is a worthy picture. This is something you should go to the theater with your family with and see this movie. Because, you know, otherwise you wouldn't even, it's so loud out there, you wouldn't even hear about it, you know? So that's why I'm here. I want people to know about this little picture because it's worthy.
And I should add that it is based on a true story. You were able to obviously star in this film, but I love that you came back, you're telling people to watch it. You went to your alma mater, BU.
I did.
To spread the good word. How was that experience?
Oh, it was amazing. You know, I love giving back and paying it forward, right? So I've been a member of the board of the School of Fine Arts, where I went to school at Boston University for 25 years now. And this was just an opportunity to show the movie and then have a Q&A afterwards and talk to the actors and directing students about, you know, the profession that they're about to go into and all the ups and downs of it and all arounds, and it was just wonderful. But then on top of it, as an added bonus, I'm at the, you know, I go to the screening and I look out into the audience, and like a bunch of guys from my high school football team were in the audience. They heard about this through my co-captain. I was the captain of my football team in high school, and Steve Stabile, my co-captain, and he got a bunch of the guys together, so they all came.
That's beautiful.
You know, and I haven't seen some of those guys since high school. You know, so it was just a heartwarming, beautiful night. It was great. And you know, I was able to spend time with everybody. And, you know, again, this is one of those movies. Look, I've been doing this for a long time. And there are certain gigs along the line that you really root for because you're like, this was a good one. This is one I'm proud of, and I want people to see this one. You know, The Shield was one. I have a soft spot for the Fantastic Four movies. You know, those were audience pleasers. You know, The Commish was a big hit for me. I've had a bunch of I've been fortunate enough to have a bunch of hits over the years, and you know, every once in a while you have a show that you really feel great about, and the senior is one of them.
Yeah, and you can tell the passion through your acting in the film as well. So I understand exactly where you're coming from.
Well, I got to play football
Exactly.
at 59.
Like,
I actually did it. All but a 3 or 4 shots I didn't do because they didn't want me to die.
Of course.
But I was playing football with 24-year-olds. It was crazy. It was amazing.
Well, thank you so much for your time. And like I said to the audience, make sure you head to the theater September 19th to see The Senior.
Let's go.
Let's go.